what I'm going to get you all to do again, as per usual, squad leads, if you're in the mix or you're holding the formations, I'm pretty sure you guys are holding the formations right now. It's dope. Jaeger, squad lead, you're going to give a rundown of what you did, what you accomplished, anything you found, pros, cons, and proves. Then Kaiji will do the same. Then I'll grab the PL and PSG. They'll do theirs. Bug will run through his stuff. I will run through my stuff, and then S3 will run through theirs, and that will be us. Tracking?
Tracking.
Check
So
Rod.
start with Saw.
Yep, so Jaeger, us boys, we ended up pushing from our base. We ended up going to our vehicle location. We dismounted there, then we pushed across east. Then we set up our CCP, and we went up north from our CCP up to the hill line, and we took on an enemy force up there, and then we regrouped. We come down the hill face, come to you guys, and then we split, and then we put Alpha up on the hillside. Bravo set security for Kaiju. And we just held that front gate. We also did find a, I think it was a weapon case in one of the bunkers on the west side of the BIP bunker location. So we destroyed that, neutralized that. It was a little bit sloppy communication between myself and the boys. I got a couple of things fucked up. I amended them as quick as possible, got back on track and sorted that out. We only had, I think, a couple downs and one KIA. And other than that, it was pretty good. We all enjoyed it. We all had fun. Got the job done at the end. Yeah, I thought it was pretty good.
Nice. Skate.
So, we left from the military base. We convoyed over the island. Made it up to Upper Limeford, Hunger Right, dismounted around the same area we did last stop, which would be in 013023. We then pushed up in a stagger column, double team stack, pushed up to the CCP, established that area, pulled 360 security, right? That is in 015024. We then pushed up the ASR. We experienced heavy AP presence and contacts while we were moving up. We did have a few people go down, but no actual casualties until we got into the bunker where we cleared it out. Found the 2 civvies, found 4 weapons caches, destroyed both. Unfortunately, 1 civvy ran into the gas, and 1 civvy met his demise by jumping 300 feet into the bottom of the silo. So we weren't able to get any information out of them. Also, I don't know if this is my issue because I'm on 200 ping, but I couldn't get a map out of either one of them. So that possibly could have led to intelligence or some kind of enemy positions, but it wouldn't let me take it out of their inventory. As I said, probably a me problem. We then had Alpha Team pull security outside while me and Times1 Special Packs, I'm not sure if he's here still, we interrogated both civvies before they killed themselves. And then once we got the green, all of the weapons caches and chemicals, we were attacked by a severe Seaburn threat, also getting sporadic IDF throughout the operation. We then regrouped, reorganized, head back down to the CCP, Ranger filed out, went to the DZ, got lifted here.
Nice. This.
Yeah, I'm back now. So.
Come to the front.
Go to the front, Softy. Take my spot, bro. Go to the rear. Oh, he's probably AFK as well. Fuckhead. Alright, so. Jaeger platoon stepped off from bloody Fair Bridge. Alright. Took 2 turns early, therefore we could make an audible on a caller where to park the vehicle location in a more secured area. And proceeded on foot to make a CCP. From there we pushed up the hill, where we took contacts from a military field hospital cleared the contacts and provided security while we had 1 times downed friendly while we awaited resupply. From there, we stepped off and cleared a fortified area, a good reference 0126, 0265. From there was no clear route to go up to the blown place location. So we backtracked and we found a bunker. And we ignored that for the moment. Therefore, we could continue with the blown place operation. I sent Jaeger 1 and Jaeger 1 Bravo down to set security at the entrance to the main facility. While Jaeger 1 Alpha stepped up with me to perform a blown place operation. From there, we made a call to remain up there and provide security from a higher elevated location, and could still see friendly forces directly below us before we got attacked by a chemical unknown on the chemical itself. However, we performed our chemical warfare procedures and put on our gas mask and all survived. No casualties there. And then we heard from Kaiju that there was 1 HVI, and we were to detain if seen. And with Kaiju's unknowing of the bunker we passed, I sent myself and 1 other friendly pack to move through there and secure it, while the fire team leads and the squad lead were taking care of the security, as we didn't have enough people to send 2 spare riflemen. From there was no confirmation on the civilians, so we were able to push back out and provide further security before exfil.
Alright, so what I want from you guys is BLs, BSGs. I want you guys to tell me what your negatives, positives, and improves are.
Going first.
You go ahead.
Okay, I guess I'm going first. Good. We executed well, all had the gas mask procedures down pat. We secured multiple fortified positions while taking minimal casualties. I believe we had 1 KIA and 2 or 3 wounded in action due to 1 being gamism, other 2 just taking fire. We covered really well, allowed the medics to do their job. Improve. Alright, probably formations and organisation on the senior level. It's not junior level, but senior level. Bill?
Alright. Freaking... I think Kaiju did pretty well, given the circumstances of going in completely blind, having no idea what the inside of that silo looks like. Obviously, I think we took 3 KIA the whole time, and we had, I think 5 or 6 total wounded. Not too terrible, obviously. There's a lot of contact in a really rough area. Yeah, I think everybody did. I mean, this is, again, miles better from where we came. So, super proud of Kaiju today. Super proud of Kaiju. Kaiju leads the way.
All the way.
That's when you guys say all the way, in case you didn't. We're going to try that again. Kaiju leads the way.
All the way.
Yeah, all the way.
Motherfucker.
That just got left hanging out. That's crazy, boys. That's. Come on. Don't let him down.
I said it, but my mic. I had my mic off.
Yeah, my mic wasn't on. What we're gonna do, right? What we're gonna do?
My mic was
is...
off.
No, lock it up.
Oh, I was gonna say we could totally have done that better.
Shit failed.
Just so you guys are tracking. If you hear, excuse me, Rangers lead the way, you guys reply with all the way. So if you hear your PL or PSG or your squaddies going, Jaeger or Kaiju leads the way, you say all the way with all your might, because you should be proud of the platoon you're in. Tracking?
Jaeger leads the way, boys.
Copy.
All the way.
All the way.
All the way.
All the way, cunts.
Fuck yeah.
Alright, let's lock it in. Alright, Bug?
Alright, yeah, I'd like to start off. That was way fucking better. You to come leaps and bounds, 100%. It was a lot it was a lot nicer to see some solid formations. I know, Bill, you noted that working on formations would be a good thing, but overall, from a top-down perspective, from the GM role, that was really nice to see. Staggered columns, some ranger files, really quick, really precise with decent spacing. There were a few times where security was a little bunched in areas and others where they were extended, but overall, the majority of the time, it was really good. I have a few points here I'd like to go through, some positives, some negatives, some a bit of both. Beginning with the leadership, platoon leadership, it's your job to stay alive, essentially. The boys need a leader, so for a PL, a PSG, to lead from the front is fucking risky. It's a bit dumb, but if you have to do it, you have to do it. Tonight, I didn't see many occasions where you had to do it, but that's something to keep in mind. Then, I know some of you haven't trained procedures for ODAs and LDAs, but tonight there was not a single evident bridge, even if it was called, because I couldn't hear, but if it was called, it did not get formed. There are a few LDAs that were crossed, and there was no security set in either direction. It was just fucking bolt across, and a couple people died because of it. PID, overall, very fucking good. There were a couple occasions where civilians carked it. I know Bossy behind me has a few things to touch on the PID situation and working with civilians. Moving on, the CQB was very good. I didn't see too much of Kaiju because that bunker in GM is fucking horrible. There are a few occasions though where the members had the opportunity to work with a battle buddy or two, but they continued to push CQB situations on their own. Just keep in mind that if you have buddies with you, do it, because CQB is a matter of numbers, hard and fast, fast and smooth. Touched on spacing. The IDF, when you're in an IDF situation, it is important to fucking scream that shit over the radio. I know later on it was definitely called real quick and fast, but the first IDF, no one called it for a solid fucking 30 seconds or so, which was a bit sus from to look at from command, but it is what it is. And then overall, final note, you did a fucking good job. That was good to watch. It really was. It was a lot smoother. It was nicer from a first sergeant's perspective to be able to actually call for ace reports. They were quick and fast. You were aware at all times what you had, what you didn't have, so that was really good. In the future, it would have been nice to see some medivacs if someone was down for a really long period of time. I know that they'll probably get up eventually, but in that situation, if you're in the shit, pulling them back to your CCP and getting a medivac if possible is something else to keep in mind. But well done. See you all again tomorrow.
All right. Yeah, so obviously what Bug said pretty much topped it all off, really. Massive improvement. It was good to see everyone kind of sticking to their formations, not getting lost. The Seaburn thing was something that you guys haven't come across, so it was good to see that you guys have, it's not like it's a fucking hard training, but chuck your masks on in a timely manner so you don't die, especially the guys inside that bunker. That gas come pretty quick, and that stuff doesn't fuck around. That's like an instant death in 2-3 seconds, so good to see that didn't happen. One thing, yeah, Bug touched on was the platoon leadership, alright? I know it's hard, but it took me a hot minute to kind of figure it out a little bit, but it's super, super important that you don't go down. If you're acting as like a platoon leadership plus squad leadership, it's kind of okay, justified, because you've got to be in the shit, but obviously, like Bill, I don't want to call you out, but you went down and died a couple of times.
Just one.
Yeah, you don't want to be at risk at the end of the day. Like, everyone that's in front of you right now, they're all there to do the job, and if you're not around to lead them, they're kind of fucked. So
Okay, so just to be clear, I can treat them like a meat shield.
Yep.
Yep.
Check, Raj. All right.
Absolutely.
Well, you guys are now meat shield. Kaiju leads the way.
So it's
Good
super important. Like once you get to a platoon leadership role, your interactions like gunfire and stuff tends to fucking get less and less. But without you, everyone else ain't getting to do fuck all. So it's one of those things. You take a step back, you let the other guys do all the work, and then you make the magic happen. Like looking at the big picture. But did you touch on the civilians?
I touched on the PID, the PID
Okay,
being
yeah, so-
overall good, but yeah.
Interactions with civilians, some were good, some weren't great. Super important that if they're unarmed and they're not opposing a threat, you don't treat them like shit. The interactions from Kaiju to me as one of the one of the scientists in the bunker, I wasn't doing anything. I was being, I was cooperating, and I was being yelled at and kept being told to fucking face away and treated like I was a threat. You then got sloppy and let me run away. Managed to make my way down to the arsenal, grabbed a pistol, went back up to the nuclear weapon, shot the cunt and fucking blew the whole bunker up and caused all the gas. So, point that I'm trying to make is like, he was friendly, willing to cooperate, was getting treated like shit, made him angry, you guys got complacent, let him run, grab a weapon, blew the arsenals up. So, super important that you treat the civvies with respect, unless they oppose a threat. When they oppose a threat, you can be stern and kind of be like, drop your weapon, get on the ground, blah, blah, blah. But if they don't have a weapon and they're talking to you and communicating and being cooperative, don't be screaming at them. It just fucking puts a sour taste in their mouth. Other than that, realistically, I think Bossy's got some things that he wants to bring up anyway. I'm not going to steal his thunder because I know what he wants to bring up, but massive improvement between the two platoons. I do want to see a little bit more communication. The blow in place on the top wasn't communicated that you were blowing in place. From what I was tracking, there wasn't any. Like, I heard that you were doing the blow in place, Vass, but I didn't hear anything to kind of confirm with Kaiju if they were clear for a blow in place.
So I called the blow in place. I don't believe I said the distance to step away from. However, in that case of situation, I said be advised we are doing this, so be prepared, because that explosion wave will not fuck them one bit.
Yeah, so
I did radio it.
You did say to bounce because you were going to blast it.
Yeah, so saying to bounce is one thing, but it was in the in the fragger that I put out, whatever the fuck I want to call it. It was clearly stated to communicate in liaison with Kaiju because you were blowing into a nuclear missile silo. So
Yep, they knew that, and they were not told to exfil, we were just told to communicate that, which we did. So to my knowledge, that there was no one directly underneath that or in that area, aside from the control room, which would have been blast protection anyway. So that was communicated. And for the actual blow in place operation itself, that was done through, sweet.
So make sure you guys are communicating. I'll let Bossy continue.
Alright, so whether it's talked about or not, I'm just going to go down the list. Bill, you were a little too close to the front. I'm the one that specifically shot you. Ironically, you were the only one that I saw. I just walked out and sprayed. Or technically, I walked really slowly towards you, and then you were the only one I saw, so I just sprayed, and I managed to hit you, and I was like, wow. Try to lead from either the middle or the back, because like he said, if you go down, then more than likely your people are kind of screwed. Same thing as if your PSG and all your squad leaders would go down, you'd be a little bit screwed up because you'd have to take control of all of their positions. That's why they're never at the front either. Alright, a good thing that everybody did was some of the very first civilians that y'all came across in the little village down from the mountain. They were checked, they were unarmed, they ran, they were not shot or anything like that. That was good PID. Y'all knew y'all checked them.
There was one that was
good.
armed who ran to the airfield, so we fucked him up as soon as he pulled out a weapon.
I didn't see that one, but that
it was
me.
Yep, it was an AK, and we saw it. It was confirmed, so we obliterated him. And he was in green, unsure of what specific type. That's for your essay.
Another thing is I was bombing y'all for about a good minute and a half, maybe 2 minutes before IDF was actually called over radio. And it got to the point where I was trying to put it near y'all purposely to see if y'all even knew that you were getting bombed. And nobody noticed. I just switched to some of the larger bombs, and about 20 seconds into the larger, which is some of the biggest I can drop, somebody finally called it over radio, and then everybody scrambled, like they didn't know they were getting bombed. One of the things was, and this one kind of made me laugh a little bit, to the person that had the person that ran to the console on the inside of the bunker, that was also me. I don't expect you to know Russian, but I yelled at you in Russian and said, I'm going for the gas controls. And then I proceeded to run to the gas controls, to which you said you'd give me 30 seconds. And I released more gas and jumped out the window.
What do I do in that situation? Like, do I shoot you? I said to back up, you didn't listen. So, but I didn't want to shoot you and commit a war crime.
In that case, at that point, with you not understanding essentially what I said, and me going towards a point of interest such as a center console and a nuclear silo, at that point I would be considered a threat, yes.
Okay, so that was not made clear. Next time you try to do that, I will happily blow your head off. Thank you.
Absolutely. Alright, that's also some of the reasons you saw some of the people killing themselves, and that was kind of the protocol to release the gas. I turned the gas on more, that's why you saw essentially the gas was flowing downhill while some of y'all were getting on out there, because I kind of fully opened the floodgates, which is also why I jumped down into the silo, because gas is not a very fun thing to deal with. Another thing is no proper LDA crossings. That's one thing Bug kind of mentioned. Those are very important, because there were times where I saw y'all through AI, but I just let the AI control it, because nobody was really covering LDAs y'all were crossing. And then the final thing that I noted was team cohesion / sticking with battle buddies. When some of y'all were actually in the bunker, a lot of y'all spread out. I know because I took control of some of the AI and like followed you around. One of y'all, I'm not gonna say who, I followed you around for 30 seconds straight, tapping you on the shoulder as an enemy AI with the gun to your head, and you just kept walking and looking around corners until somebody on the first floor said, hey, there's somebody behind you, after I'd already been following you for about a good 30 seconds, and then finally shot me. To which, you know, that was not great. So try to stick with your battle buddies, because if that person had a battle buddy with them at that time, they would have found me in like the first second or two. That wouldn't have been an issue. So that kind of goes with team cohesion. As long as y'all are sticking with your people, then y'all are good, but keep in mind, don't go out on your own. That's kind of like how Skade was doing okay on that part whenever he had me on the first floor, near the arsenal box in the corner. He was sticking with his people while keep trying to watch me. Yeah, just stick together with your people. There is no iron team, and everybody's good. And if you see somebody running for like a terminal or something like that, they are considered a hostile in a situation like that. It can be a split-second decision sometimes, and that's something you kind of have to deal with and live with. Same thing as like Logi here ran to the arsenal, grabbed a gun, and managed to off himself. Yeah. You got to be careful when people are running. That's why you kind of have to keep up with them best you can, because any action that they do could be considered as an immediate threat, or they could just be running for their life. At that point, you never know. Like, there was one that ran out and jumped off a cliff. That person didn't die, by the way. They got up like 30 seconds later and limped away. And then went down the hill and walked past two of y'all's guys that were for some reason down there. And while those two were down there conversating about where they're from, the guy just limped past them and went to a different island.
Wait, were you in the yellow shirt?
Yeah, I was in the yellow shirt.
Hey, we've been tracking you, boy. We've been tracking you from the mountain.
We were watching you the whole time. We were
Yeah,
like,
we were watching you, bro. We were watching like a bloody hawk.
Yeah.
Are you saying that you walked past two individuals and they were conversating about what country they were?
It would have been Arby's.
Yeah, I don't know who they were, but they were.
They were not. No. They were these guys. They were the recruits.
Yeah,
they just
there
were
two.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it was two pubs of guys.
I was gonna say, if it was anyone that's in the unit and you're fucking just chilling out having a conversation about what fucking city or country you're from, I would be pissed.
Hey, legit, I'm from Canberra. Where are you from?
A little subtle wave and kept walking. There was one of y'all that I walked past on the hill, and y'all were like, I was listening to the radio. Y'all were like, I see him, and I was like, I just kept walking while staring at you, and that was interesting. Overall, I mean, I would say that it was a success. There were a couple minor setbacks in it. Such as the gas being brought off early and stuff like that. But I would still say it was overall a success. And they still had a pretty decently high evaluation rating. Is there anybody here that did not have fun? If so, go ahead and break emote and crouch. Be honest. It ain't gonna hurt my feelings. I lost feelings when I became an officer.
No, I didn't. It's not that I didn't have fun. My ping is just terrible. It's pretty much the only problem I have.
How's it feel?
Right. Feel? What's yours? Don't tell me it's because I shot you.
Kaiju leads the way.
You guys are dismissed.
Okay.
You know, platoon AARs tonight. You guys can do that another time.
Stand by for TV.
Alright, Jaeger platoon, load up into our Jaeger VC.
I just said the platoons are dismissed.
I gotta go to
need to have
bed
AARs.
first.
He's loser.
Lodgy or Buck, can I ask
Night, guys.
Good night, boys. Have a good night. It was good seeing you all.
So in
place we did on the roof.
Alright, lads.
Is that
remember,
on me to call that over the net?
We teleported away.
Sorry, I've only got
Fast, baby. The point behind that is...
Hey, bitch, jump in VC.
Yep, too easy. Well, I'm jumping out then.
Do it, Bill. Do it.
Yeah, let's go see Lodge, bro. He'll help you out.
What do I get if I do?
We're gonna start taking, fucking
nuclear warhead directly under
zip
those
ties.
things.
I'm at zip ties. You're good to fall out. You're good to fall out. You're good to fall out. Everyone out.
Give you guys the clear to say that the silo was empty.
He killed Terry, so I killed him.
So okay, yeah. That you blowing that up could have killed everybody.
The thing is, you wanted to confirm with Kaiju whether or not you were going to cause a nuclear catastrophe. That's
I hate both of you.
You did call it out, and that was fine. Like, all of that's fine. It was just the simple, is there a nuke below my feet?
Yeah, copy. So I should go through my squad lead